Got some debt? Want a house? Don't know what to do? Keep watching. When you have debt, student loans, credit cards, whatever, saving for a home might feel impossible. Fact is, it's hard to know how to prioritize when you have multiple financial goals. So what do? I'm Gabe Bolt, here to show you the small shifts that you can make in your life that will lead to a huge impact on your financial future. This is Big Change. Truth is, it's gonna depend on your personal financial situation, the type of debt that you have, and what the housing market trends indicate. But before you get going, a lot of financial pros suggest keeping an emergency fund. So if you don't have one yet, start there. Some experts say you should start with $1,000. Others recommend 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. My advice? Something is better than nothing. So if you don't have one, start saving now. Buying a house with student loans or other lower interest debt can be a reasonable idea, but higher interest debt can really limit how much home you can afford. And that's because interest doesn't help pay down debt, it goes to the lender. If you have high interest debt, you may want to consider paying that down before saving for a house. Now keep this in mind, most mortgages have a minimum credit score requirement, and if your score is below that, you may not qualify. Credit utilization makes up 30% of your credit score, and it's recommended to keep it below 30%. To knock down some of your debt, you could start budgeting extra cash towards it. The snowball and avalanche methods are two popular ways to cut debt. With the snowball method, you pay down the smallest balance first, regardless of the interest rate. When that's paid down, move the money to the next debt, and so on. Avalanche debt repayment starts with the highest interest debt first, regardless of how much you owe. Your debt to income ratio, or DTI, is the percentage of your gross monthly income that must be used to pay your debt. Now, lenders want to make sure you're able to afford your monthly payments, and if your DTI is too high, well, you might not be able to. That's why lenders have a max DTI of up to 50%. If you're under that but close to it, you might be viewed as a riskier borrower. Whether you decide to pay off debt or save for a home first could really depend on timing. So pay attention to the economy, the real estate industry, and your local market. If trends say buy, you may want to save up for a home instead of grinding down on debt, but it's ultimately your call. Everyone's situation is different and every person has different comfort levels when it comes to finances. And that's what's really important. So when you're deciding whether to pay off debt or save for a house, ask yourself a few questions. How much debt do you have and how are you managing it now? Can you comfortably afford your minimum debt payments and a mortgage with where your finances are? Do you need to increase your credit score? Do you want to buy a home right away? Do you have an emergency fund? Once you're ready, carve out a chunk of your paycheck that you plan to use to pay down debt and put towards savings. Then head over to Rocket Mortgage to start the pre-approval process. Well, I hope this video was helpful for you guys. If you want to see more episodes, you can click right over here, and you can also subscribe to the Big Change channel so you never miss future content.